Hey YouTube, Rachel DeHart Psychic Medium here. I had a woman on my forum called Big Mama Hayes, and she was asking about if there were any specific rules to spirit communication or psychic arts, that kind of thing. And that's a really hard question because depending what your belief system is or what culture you come from, I mean, it could be a lot of different things, but ultimately, I think there's a few guidelines that we could follow. And first and foremost for me is responsibility. So, actually, no. The first thing you should probably know, I'm just going to tell it to you straight, okay, is that when you start working with spirit communication, when you start working in psychic arts and dabbling in this and dabbling in that and experimenting, there's certainly nothing wrong with it, but what you should know is there's kind of like a neon sign being put on your self or your home saying, hey, this person's open. So when you start working with those sorts of things, you can attract or invite other things to come to you. And there's certainly nothing wrong with that. And that's why we all have like some training in terms of protecting ourselves, protecting the spaces we live in, and keeping that up regularly. So first and foremost, you should know that if you're open, then you're going to attract things. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to know how to protect yourself properly. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, I think that responsibility is a big part of the rules. And responsibility to yourself and responsibility to other people. So responsibility to yourself in a sense of just what I talked about, like, you know, cleansing yourself, cleansing your area, protecting yourself, protecting your area. I think some people get lazy and they don't do it as often as they should. But if you're going to do this regularly, then that has to be part of your routine. The next is responsibility to other people. So examples of that are if you're going to be healing or reading, you know, you're going to get all kinds of people coming to you with different issues. You could have a client that comes to you that says, you know, I have a month to live. That's what the doctor told me. Like, what do you think? Is that really going to happen? Or you could have a lady come to you whose 10-year-old son drowned in her pool last month, and she is desperate to talk to him. So that's why it's really important that we have this responsibility to be compassionate and to be kind and to convey accurate messages and accurate information. Sometimes people get nervous, I think, when they're trying to help someone because people are seeking a solution, and if they can't always provide them one, they feel that they've failed. And so it's really important to just always be responsible in a sense that you're only giving what you get, you know, or you're only helping them to what you're able to do, or to what you know how to do, and not to fabricate anything or misguide people or guess. You know, these are real people with real problems and real lives. So I think responsibility is really important. And also just reminding yourself that like when it comes to witchcraft or energy work, like manifestations, affirmations, that kind of stuff, you know, different cultures have different beliefs. Some people follow like the witches read, where they believe that whatever you do comes back to you times 3. So if you put out love, then you just get love back. If you put out hate, then you just get hate back. And then there's some cultures that sort of neutralize that, like voodoo, for example. From what I understand is, you know, there's no black magic or white magic. Magic's not a color, it just is. So those people kind of think that they have a right sometimes to go in and mess with stuff. And I think people can certainly do whatever it is that they want or whatever it is they choose. I'm not here to tell people what they can do, but what I've seen from people that I know is that truly, whatever you put out there, that's what comes back to you. And this is with, you watch The Secret or anything like that. They say that the words that you think are the house you live in, right? So if people are negative all the time, they probably live in a negative state, or maybe they're in a stuck place in their life kind of thing. So I'm just saying, like, whatever your intentions are with people, whatever you're putting out there, like, if it isn't coming from an honest place of integrity in your heart, then you will suffer. I don't know how else to say that, but it'll be rough, and I've watched it happen with people, especially people doing like witchcraft or magic. I've watched them, their businesses slowly deteriorate, or relationships slowly deteriorate, or losing things in their lives because, they're just putting out resentment or animosity or, fear, and just bringing that right back to themselves. So, yes. So in terms of rules, it's kind of hard to put that in a box. But I think there are some guidelines we can certainly follow. And it's certainly safe to do so. I wasn't trying to scare anybody by saying these things. But you got to know the truth, right? So I'm telling it like it is. And yeah, follow some of these guidelines. Maybe get some books, do some reading, and move forward. So good luck to you.